I think I found you on Instagram, and I think it was your Black Sand Tactical Instagram account. But tell me about
Oh,
blacksandtactical.com and what you do and why you started it.
so Black Sand Tactical, there's a couple reasons because I knew in law enforcement, because I've seen other people leave, but it wasn't so much of that. It was just also like a backup plan just in case I ever want to go somewhere else or do something else. Um, and the other aspect too was I was tired of all these other companies that will sell you something overpriced. I'm like, you're selling like a $40 tourniquet. It just blew my mind. Like, who does that? So when I would hope, again, I didn't know the industry as much. It was just a young thought. So I ended up making the company, and I was like, you know what? I need to make more gear for cops. So I got into tourniquets, and I have a lot of them. But come to find out, cops don't really pay for that stuff because they get it from their agency, and I learned that the hard way. Not a big deal. So fast forward a little bit, I was struggling, I was still learning, and I wasn't doing everything properly because it was a new business. And then I made a T-shirt because I was like, what does every other company have that I don't? A T-shirt, tactical coffee companies have T-shirts, etc. So I made a T-shirt, horrible advertisement. I didn't do anything right. And a lot of it was I didn't, you're some big SWAT guy or, you're some tactical guy. You shouldn't be posting or advertising yourself. You're always going to hear some cliche thing like that, and it's out there. But it's funny because with all that cliche stuff, if you look at it, these guys that say the same thing, even in my old agency, they're still on TikTok somewhere, somehow showing their face. So fast forward, be a man, just if you're selling something, you sell it. And I'm okay with it now. So I went to this tactical event or shooting event, and they had a photographer there, and he started taking pictures of us, professional pictures. And he actually sent me all the pictures, like, wow, these look really nice. So I had the courage, and I was like, I'll just use these pictures for my advertisement. And I did. And those shirts, the original Black Sand Tactical shirts that I had, ended up selling like wildfire. I was like, I need to start doing this and, get off my ass. So I started advertising more. And the more I advertised, the more I sold. I got a female friend. She actually helped me with the female side of things. And those shirts kept on selling. So from the whole medical gear, medical deployment gear that I had, I started going more towards apparel. And then I started going towards challenge coins and patches. And from there, that exploded. People love coins. They love the way I make them. Because anybody can make coins, and I've learned that. So I was like, well, what's my competition? And my competition is me. Like, I have this market where I create such desirable coins with the designs and everything else that I've got a big demand for them now. And I love that for myself. And I hope to go a little further. So with that business itself, I want to go more towards canine gear. Because people do buy canine, because a lot of agencies don't buy their own canine unit, all the gear. Unfortunately, you have to go out and buy it yourself. So I want to go more towards canine gear, and as funds increase, I want to start getting towards mental health, especially for officers and military personnel. That's one of my goals. And also legal help, because I notice a lot of officers out there, they will get tied up into something politically or just, unforeseen issues. And I would hope at some point I can help with some charity funding to alleviate that.
Yeah.
That's my end goal,
It's
my long-term goal.
I tell you what, you got some cool designs. I like your
Thank you.
T-shirts. You got
Yes.
hats. I mean, not often do I go on a site and go, "Hey, those are actually, those are
Yeah.
actually kind of cool."
I want to
So,
make it not overdo it because a
Yeah.
lot of these t-shirt companies, they throw 100 shirts out there and it's just overwhelming sometimes or
Yeah.
too much. And the only difference, I don't want to say the only difference, but there's local companies that advertise patriotism and all this other patriotic stuff. And if you look at the person advertising it, they've done nothing for their county or their country and not saying they don't have, they should, but they haven't done anything at all. So I guess one example in a recent event I've seen is Charlie Kirk. Unfortunately, he passed, but I noticed a lot of people have taken advantage of that situation too with T-shirts, and they're putting his name on everything, and they're saying, "Hey, I advertise freedom and this and that." And reality is to me, I could be wrong, but they're just making money off of me.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't want to be or ever be.
Yeah.
And I'll even put this out there. My own competitor that I perceive to be a competitor, because that's who I'm trying to role model after, is Oakley, the company. and I hope to become as big as them one day, because that's something I was wearing first, quality shirt. And I'll advertise a different company. I'm not scared of it. I'm not a hater. But I hope to make the same quality as them or better. And that's something I role model after.
Good.
Yeah.